And a lot of people will say, Tank is too small. Let me tell you something. Anybody that gets in the ring with Tank that is not a damn dinosaur is going to feel something from it. And it ain't going to be easy to hit it. He got boxing IQ. He may not sound like an intellectual guy when you hear him talk, but he knows the ring inside and out.
In Florida, man looks absolutely amazing. Man looks like a monster. Man looks like precision. Jake Paul cannot take those body shots.
Oh, Tank's gonna kill him. Tank's gonna kill him because he won't be able to touch Tank. And then
It's kind of like the Tyson thing again, though, right? Like when
it reminded me of that, but it also reminded me of like, oh, in barbershops across the world, people, or at least the country, people will talk about this and be like, oh, Tank's gonna kill him because he will not get hit.
The boxing world is buzzing as Gervonta Davis appears in peak condition ahead of his showdown with Jake Paul. Recent training footage captures him punishing the heavy bag with explosive power and pinpoint precision. Every movement shows focus and intensity, a clear sign that he's taking this fight seriously. Analysts and fans alike have been impressed by his sharp form, relentless energy, and growing confidence as the matchup approaches. Analysts believe Gervonta Davis has a strong chance to win, but only if he fights with strategy and discipline. They stress that Tank shouldn't chase the knockout too soon, but instead rely on his movement, ring IQ, and precise timing. His true brilliance comes from patience and the ability to read his opponent's rhythm. Experts agree that if Davis focuses on sticking and moving, Jake Paul won't be able to cope with his speed or accuracy. While Davis is known for his explosive power, it's his defensive awareness and counterpunching that make him truly dangerous. When he fights smart, many say no opponent at Jake's level can match his mix of skill, power, and footwork.
Can his speed and, his ability make up for that size difference, in your honest opinion?
Well, he has to be very smart throughout the course of the fight. It's hard to know in some things. I think Gervonta's just gonna stick and move. He'll be fast, play it smart, I don't see him staying still for too long so Jake can land some shots. He'll just try to touch him. Who knows, man? It's an exhibition. It's a money grab. Jake's fighting one of the best boxers ever.
Experts warn that Jake Paul is about to face a harsh reality when he steps into the ring with Gervonta Davis. They argue that Tank's experience, speed, and fight IQ are on a completely different level from anything Jake has faced before. While Jake's past opponents may have been strong, none possessed Davis's explosive timing or ability to capitalize on the smallest mistakes. Analysts predict that once Tank lands clean, the power difference will be undeniable. Jake's defense is seen as raw and largely untested, whereas Davis's composure and ring intelligence allow him to calculate every move. Many believe a knockout is almost inevitable. Once Tank connects, Jake won't have the endurance or defensive instinct to survive, setting the stage for a sudden and devastating finish.
Tank Davis look crazy, bro. Chilaquiles. Gervonta Tank Davis hitting a heavy bag in preparation for his Jake Paul fight November 14th down there in Florida. Man looks absolutely amazing. Man looks like a monster. Man looks like precision. Jake Paul cannot take those body shots. You mean to tell me somebody who done fought UFC fighters and a man with Parkinson's disease can take a body punch from Gervonta Tank Davis, and y'all basing y'all logic just because Jake Paul is big? No, Tank's gonna go ahead and put this man to sleep. I'm telling y'all that right now. If Tank don't put this man to sleep, he done let the black community down, he done let boxing down, and he ain't never been that nice. You Tank fans, y'all trying to give him a pass. If y'all said Tank is as skilled as y'all say he is, if he does not put Jake Paul to sleep and stop Jake Paul, his boxing career is absolutely voided. He already don't care about legacy, and just imagine he don't knock out Jake Paul, and now y'all want to say it's not a real fight, it's an exhibition. No, we not giving no passes, bro. This Gervonta Tank Davis, he needs to put Jake Paul to sleep. I don't want to hear nothing about, Jake Paul too big. No, Jake Paul chin ain't never been tested by somebody that hit as hard as Gervonta Tank Davis. Tank should put this man to sleep with ease. I'll say that respectfully. If you don't put him to sleep,
a 2-pack of ass. That shit stinks.
That's a 2-pack of ass at the highest level. And it's a musty energy at the highest level. Get it together. Get it together. Tank looks amazing as the Chilla Killer. Chilla Killers. Chilla Killers.
The topic of weight has become one of the biggest talking points surrounding this fight. Some argue that the size difference is simply too large to overlook, while others believe Gervonta Davis's refined skills will more than compensate for the physical gap. Fans and analysts remain split. Many question whether the matchup is even fair given Jake Paul's naturally bigger frame. However, Tank supporters are confident that his speed, precision, and discipline will allow him to dismantle larger opponents just as he's done before. They emphasize that boxing isn't a contest of size, but of control, timing, and angles. For them, Jake's fundamentals still appear too limited to threaten a fighter of Davis's caliber, and they believe Tank's superior technique will ultimately erase any size advantage Jake brings.
It is happening. WBA lightweight champion Gervonta Davis, who's unbeaten in 31 professional contests, takes on the self-proclaimed problem child Jake Paul, one of the most influential and marketable global personalities. Paul and Davis square off in Miami after doubts around the fight being sanctioned in Georgia triggered a change in venue. Neither fighter can weigh more than 195 pounds. The weight is perhaps the most surprising factor. Paul has boxed most of his career around 200 pounds, the cruiserweight limit, but did tip the scales at 227 pounds when he faced off against Iron Mike Tyson last year. Davis, much smaller in stature, competes at the 135 pound mark and has also won world honours at super featherweight.
And despite some discussions about possibly dropping down to 10 ounces, the pair seem set to wear 12-ounce gloves.
And in terms of distance, despite the exhibition tag, the fight will play out over 10 3-minute rounds with 3 scoring judges at ringside, but the result will not be officially recorded on their professional records.
Michael Bisping acknowledges Gervonta Davis's incredible power and skill, but cautions that size is a factor that can't be completely dismissed. He praises Tank's ability to adapt against larger opponents, yet reminds fans that physical differences always play some role in a fight. According to Bisping, Davis has the ring IQ and movement to outthink and outmaneuver Jake Paul, but the weight gap could test his endurance and ability to absorb heavier punches. Still, he admires Tank's determination and confidence, saying that if anyone can rise above such a challenge, it's him. Bisping concludes that while the size factor is real, Davis's superior technique and fight intelligence could still allow him to overcome Jake's physical edge, so long as he executes his game plan perfectly.
Out there taking on Mike Tyson that's pushing 60 years old, for crying out loud, but at the same time pretending to be like this badass motherfucker, sending me DMs talking. He offered me a contract a long time ago, and I was like, what are you doing? I'm a retired fighter and I've got one eye. Why would I want to fight you? I wouldn't lower myself to doing that. I know a lot of people do that. They do lower themselves, if you want to say that, because of the payday. Because Jake Paul is a big name. He is a social media sensation. He's a YouTube star. And now, of course, in the world of boxing, he's one of boxing's biggest stars because he puts on these spectacles like Paul versus Tyson, like Nate Diaz, because these are the fighters, these are the names that attract the eyes. Jake Paul is the B-side to almost every single one of his fights. When he fought Nate Diaz, people were tuning in for Nate Diaz. His last fight against Cesar Chavez Jr., apparently no one watched that fight. Apparently the pay-per-views were ridiculously low. So this one's going back to Netflix on November 14th, and it's an exhibition bout. Of course, it's an exhibition bout because no athletic commission in their right mind will sanction this fight. There's just no way you can make this a legitimate fight because of the size advantage. Typically, this would be very, very dangerous, and someone could get really hurt. If Jake Paul was to swing as hard as he could and connect and wobble him and hit him many, many times and not knock him out, with the bigger gloves and the concussion possibilities and the brain rattling around inside the head, and Jake Paul just teeing off at him as hard as he could, it's dangerous. That's why fights like this can't get sanctioned. That's why this is a exhibition bout and not a real matchup. Now listen, they're both going to get paid tremendously. They're going to make a ton of money, and a lot of people are going to tune in and watch it on Netflix. Fair play.
Several analysts have pushed back against the growing criticism of Gervonta Davis's resume, calling it unfair and misleading. They point out that fighters who share the ring with Tank often see their careers skyrocket afterward. Opponents like Lamont, who were relatively unknown before facing Davis, gained significant recognition and success following their bouts with him. Analysts argue this highlights Tank's undeniable star power and influence in the sport. They dismiss claims that Davis isn't a leading figure in boxing, emphasizing that his fights generate opportunities for others while keeping fans deeply invested. In their view, questioning his legacy overlooks the way he's elevated countless fighters simply by giving them a chance to stand across from him.
Ongoing discussion in the boxing world about Gervonta Davis and Gervonta Davis, his resume, who he's going to fight, the competitors that he's going to fight. And every once in a while, something happens that proves that Gervonta Davis is the face of that. If he's not the face of boxing because people just don't want him to be that, man, he is real close to it, because other than Canelo Alvarez, and even consider Canelo Alvarez included, nobody in boxing has divisions circulating around him like Gervonta Davis does. And that was proved during this Lamont Roach versus Pitbull Cruz announcement for their pay-per-view. Just think about this. Gervonta Davis, they always say that Gervonta Davis has a poor resume, but yet Gervonta Davis, guys that fight Gervonta Davis, lose to Gervonta Davis, or get a draw to Gervonta Davis, can fight one another and make an anticipated pay-per-view between the two of them. Because that fight with Pitbull Cruz is a very, very popular fighter with Mexican fight fans. Lamont Roach got a lot of name exposure with black fight fans and Mexican fight fans and white fight fans, all with his draw that he got against Gervonta Davis. Now they believe that this is going to be able to be a profitable endeavor for a pay-per-view. Now let me also tell you that Rolly Romero, who was somebody else that Gervonta Davis fought in the past, will be on a pay-per-view that's going to be successful, most likely, when he defends his WBC 140-pound championship. Or does he have the WBA?
Coach Reg offers a balanced perspective on the criticism aimed at Gervonta Davis. He reminds fans that Tank has already accomplished more than most fighters his age, earning the right to choose the direction of his career. According to Reg, there's nothing wrong with pursuing high-paying fights after years of proving yourself in the ring. He believes Davis deserves to secure his financial future after all the sacrifices and risks he's taken. Reg also points out that every fighter eventually reaches a stage where legacy and longevity must balance with financial reward. In his view, critics often ignore how much Tank has given to the sport and underestimate his commitment. Whether Davis decides to retire soon or keep competing, Reg insists his legacy is already cemented among the elite lightweights of his generation.
I mean, especially Tank been talking about retirement, so why not get the bag and then go about your business if that's your plan? I mean, if that's your plan to retire, then go get the bag and go about your business. You ain't doing nothing wrong. I'm not against it.
You got some people that are very critical of Tank. Does it make sense depending on what you're in boxing for? Because you got some people that want to fight the best. You got some people that want the accolades, the belts, the undisputeds. You got some people that just came in this game like, look, I'm trying to get my family out of poverty and give us generational wealth. Does it all depend on what you decided to box for?
Well, Tank accomplished a lot at a young age. He accomplished a lot at a young age. So I wouldn't be mad if he took the bag and went about his business and never fought again. Plus, look at some of the things that he's going through. You know what I'm saying? So, a lot of that can affect you as well. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're trying to be in this game. So I think get the bag and go. That's your plan. Get the bag and go.
For me, of course, I wanted to see him fight Shakur. I wanted to see him fight Devin.
Yeah, we all wanted to see him fight.
Guess what, bro?
Some analysts note that a major part of the buzz surrounding this fight stems from Gervonta Davis's widespread popularity and cultural influence. As one of the most prominent black fighters in America, Tank naturally commands significant media attention and fan engagement. His bouts go beyond the ring. They become cultural events that capture the attention of diverse audiences. Experts point out that his fame has elevated him into the upper echelon of boxing's biggest stars, bringing both admiration and scrutiny. They also emphasize that public perception heavily shapes how matchups like this are viewed, and Davis's high-profile status ensures that everything he does makes headlines. Still, most agree that it's his exceptional skill and accomplishments, not just his fame, that have truly earned him this spotlight.
Tank Davis, especially an American black fighter, right? Everything is embellished and, made into a bigger deal, especially when they're popular fighters like Gervonta Davis. Or Floyd Mayweather has a close fight with Castillo Maidana, and it's the end of the world. Andre Ward has a tough fight with Kovalev. Oh, it's the end of the world. He cheated and all this stuff. Jermell Charlo has a close fight with Castanos, so on and so forth, right? Oh, Jermell, it was a robbery, and it turns into this big deal. But back to Tank's resume, his last opponent was Lamont Roach. I thought he won the fight. There wasn't this crazy action happening on Lamont Roach's side prior to that knee thing. I feel like when the knee fiasco happened, that's when the fight started to pick up a bit. And Lamont Roach, I think what he deserves credit for is he exceeded expectations that people have for him. But you can't score a fight based on expectations. You feel me? Right? Like, you don't get a fight and get the victory because you did better than people thought you were going to do. That is not how you score boxing, right? You don't get more points because you're the underdog and you did better. It's not how boxing works at all, right?
Many analysts view this matchup as more of a global spectacle than a strictly competitive contest. Jake Paul's fame, built through social media and entertainment, has made him a crossover personality rather than a traditional boxer. Experts suggest the fight's true purpose goes beyond proving athletic superiority. It's designed to captivate mainstream audiences. With Netflix handling the broadcast, the event is already set for massive worldwide exposure. While most expect Gervonta Davis to dominate due to his elite skill and experience, others admit that Jake's celebrity appeal adds intrigue and excitement. This fight represents the growing fusion of entertainment and boxing, a collision where skill meets spectacle. Competitive or not, it's destined to attract millions of viewers and propel both men deeper into the global spotlight.
Jake Paul thoughts, I will reiterate one more time. I would rather see this because it's a spectacle than him versus Ryan Borland or Andre August or chasing these quote-unquote championship dreams in boxing. I don't think he's a championship level boxer. I don't really care about that journey. I want to see him in spectacles. Netflix is going to air Jake Paul versus Tank Davis. So to me, this is,
You think it will do well?
It will be watched. It will be watched.
Yeah, it's going to be huge. A lot of people are going to watch.
I would rather see Anthony Joshua just because that has been put out there and is on the table. But I will watch this.
I saw some people breaking this down on, it was a non-fight pod. It was, I don't remember which one. And they were saying like, oh, Tank's going to kill him. Tank's going to kill him because he won't be able to touch Tank. And then
It's kind of like the Tyson thing again, though, right? Like when there was
It reminded me of that, but it also reminded me of like, oh, in barbershops across the world, people, or at least the country, people will talk about this and be like, oh, Tank's gonna kill him because he will not get hit.
Stephen Fulton has stepped up to defend Gervonta Davis against critics who accuse him of chasing easy paydays. Fulton argues that every boxer deserves the chance to secure financial stability, especially in a sport as short-lived and dangerous as boxing. He emphasizes that Tank has already proven himself through years of dominance, and taking high-profile, lucrative fights at this stage is both earned and strategic. Fulton urges fans to look deeper, noting that Davis has every right to balance his legacy with financial reward. His defense of Tank reflects a growing sentiment within the boxing world: respect for fighters who recognize their value and refuse to be confined by outdated standards or expectations.
Anybody in that position would have taken that fight, especially with the payout. It's like, that's a no-brainer, but I understand. I still feel for Lamont. That's my boy. Like, he still want his rematch. But then when you be realistic about the money situation, you're changing your whole family life. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's people hate on it because they're not the one in that position. I'm not saying Lamont. I'm speaking like other boxers. Be like, oh, he this for that. He's this. It's a side quest. It's a little side quest. Because what happened when Floyd and all these guys went on WWE, but then they get right back to what they're doing? You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, it's another little side quest. I'm all for people just getting their money. So get the best, make the most that you can out of this entertainment world. Because, I mean, I don't know. I would have done it as far as the money aspect, because none of us would deny that money. They talking like they would. None of them would deny that money.
Eddie Chambers cautions that underestimating Gervonta Davis would be a major mistake. While he acknowledges Jake Paul's physical size advantage, Chambers insists that Tank's skill, power, and ring intelligence make him a nightmare for any opponent. He points out that Davis's lightning-fast reflexes and explosive combinations can easily break down bigger fighters who lack defensive discipline. Chambers explains that unless Jake develops into a true powerhouse, he'll struggle to handle Tank's intensity and precision. In his view, Davis remains one of the most dangerous pound-for-pound fighters in boxing because of his elite timing, composure, and adaptability. Chambers concludes that physical size means little when facing a fighter as technically sharp and mentally focused as Gervonta Davis.
And something like this can happen. Like, this is social media. This is what is created. There's a lane that Jake Paul has created. Honestly, I'm not mad at him for it. He's gotten a lot of fighters, actual fighters, some shine. It also has done for women's boxing a lot. So I'm not mad at him for what he's been in boxing, what he's created. This is it's a little crazy. And a lot of people will say, Tank is too small. Let me tell you something. Anybody that gets in the ring with Tank that is not a damn dinosaur is going to feel something from it. And it ain't going to be easy to hit it. Got boxing IQ. He may not sound like an intellectual guy when you hear him talk, but he knows the ring inside and out.
That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed the breakdown, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more updates on Gervonta Davis, Jake Paul, and everything happening in the boxing world. Stay tuned. There's a lot more to come. Boxing Glove Fire